The humans are, well, uncanny. We joined the Galactic Federation around the same time as them, meager 3 years prior. When I first saw one of them, I got a weird sort of whiplash. You know this feeling when your mind goes, yeah, nope, bye. He was tall, at least a head taller than me. 2 hands, 2 legs, 2 eyes. Nice eyes with a pretty shade of brown. Short hair that was naturally a splendid dark gold. Broad arms and somewhat visible muscles on them. He looked like one of us. Not quite, though. I'm considered tall by the standard of my species. Tall and bulky, nonetheless. He was even bigger. His hair and eyes were absolutely stunning, even for me. And I'm not even into men. And don't get me started on the way he stood or glanced around. It was so familiar, yet so wrong. Maybe not wrong, just creepy. Yeah, he was absolutely creepy, and absolutely attractive. But I decided to leave that to the female part of the crew. His name was also uncannily familiar. Frederick. For Gore's sake, the father of my father was named Ederic. Something was going on. For a moment I even considered the thought of our species being one, just split in half by some cataclysm or war long ago. But then I remembered. We were from literally 6 galaxies apart. No way an ancient civilization could traverse this space, not without the wormholes. It was just a cruel twist of evolution. It did not stop being creepy. Frederick was our new crew member, a healer. Or as he called himself, a Xenovet, whatever that means. I observed him closely for the next few cycles, and still couldn't shake that feeling of wrongness. It only got worse when he somewhat started to, mimic our facial expressions. His were fine and similar enough to ours when we started this voyage, so there was no need to assimilate them more. We understood a lot of his body language already. Still, he started to wrinkle his nose when uncomfortable instead of huffing. His gestures got sharper and more concrete. Heck, he sometimes didn't call us any more vocally. He just clapped, as every other of us. No other crew member of a race different than ours adapted so quickly and thoroughly. A lot did not adapt at all. Of course, there were some bumps in the road, as when someone, it was me, I'm dumb, I know, mistook his stifled laughter as crying. Or when he in turn mistook my display of protectiveness over food as being in pain. Or when Jill said to his face that he was the sexiest goddamn being she ever saw. Anyway, he got along with us brilliantly. After some time, maybe it was a season, I kind of stopped seeing his differences. I think you can ask me then, what species is he? And I would respond with her and thoughtlessness, Saphixian, as being half of the crew. I remembered that he was a human only when he accidentally cut himself with a knife. The sincerely small gash in his hand was bleeding a rather inadequate amount. And this was the day I discovered that humans, these fucking mimics, had red blood. Not the polite blue of half the galaxy. Not the acid green of the Siluli. Not even our Saphixian golden pinkish hue. Red. Red like the banners of the Federation. And red blood is a really creepy sight, I tell you. But well, this only cemented my theory about cruel evolution. My hopes about seducing a human female got suddenly a bit more bleary. Frederick in turn was not unsettled, even a bit, when another Saphixian crewmate, I think it was Dex, went in with a bloody gash in the forehead, made by a flying piece of an old accumulator that exploded. The title of a Xenovet healer apparently requires a lot of knowledge about anatomy of every body. Luckily for me, he did not seem upset when he caught me staring at his already half-healed cut. Even better, he explained to me what had happened, and how does his circulatory system work. He is the epitome of being chill and feeling good in my body. Absolutely shameless. Not that our dorm will tell him anything, but walking down the corridor only in boxers to go get a salve in the infirmary, even one more time will get him raped by the female part of the crew. Or Bob will die in his own bed. Poor guy has a ginormous crush. I'm not joking. But well, maybe he is chiller than the peak of Mount Jesteri in winter season, but I'm not. So it was me that nearly died of cringe when my mother video called me. I was at the infirmary at the time, dropping off some pieces for a prosthetic, and Frederick was behind me, stirring some of a favourite drink of his. A foul-smelling dark liquid called coffee. Mum, dearest, I know that you love me, but the next time maybe don't call a friend of mine a sexy orc when you see him for the first time. I was never in my whole life more embarrassed. Frederick only stood here dumbfolded for a moment, and then started laughing uncontrollably, and sputtering some nonsense about Lord of the Rings, Sauron Master Plan, and that damned FF. I quickly and silently left the room, first time seeing the infamous human aesthetic fit with my own eyes. It was not known to the Federation, but we also had similar fits, although never about something so random and, well, insulting. Calling someone Nork was like calling someone a dumb slut, only worse, and well, I never before or after heard it paired with the word sexy. Mum, to borrow a human phrase, what the fuck? Anyway, I liked our human. If the rest of him is even a bit like him, I see a bright and peaceful future before our races. And a freaky amount of horny Sophixians, but, well, you take what you can get. P.S. I asked Frederick. Apparently Sophixians are attracted by human standards. He just has already a life partner on his home planet. He called us space elves, whatever does that mean. So, maybe I can get a shot with someone. Yes! But that does mean there will be a lot of horny humans too. This can complicate things on a large scale. Not my problem, though.